Hey, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Random Thoughts. On this one, I wanted to talk about book bans, attempted book bans, and just how the GOP consistently are inconsistent with the things that between what they say their values are and the things they actually take the time to implement. They already have a lot of books banned in schools and what have you, things that they deem are pornographic or inappropriate, or the whole CRT thing, which isn't being taught in any elementary school. And such as for example, how they will ban books about civil rights leaders, because it, as I've said before, makes white students feel bad, or at least that's what they claim. I'm not sure if any white student is actually internalizing whatever guilt that they feel is being placed on them. But yeah, because they claim it's divisive, but yet are so quick to want to pump out those that one MLK line that they remember from the speech, as if that's the only speech he ever said, or that's the only takeaway from that they got. But yeah, they've done that to schools. Also, books concerning the LGBTQIA plus. I hope I said all the letters. Forgive me if I didn't. But they do all that, and now they're coming for books in public libraries. I know here in Missouri, I've seen them. I've seen talks of them trying to do it, and some of them, it's for a lot of them, it's the throw the rock and hide your hand approach, to where they're trying to ban books but don't want to call it a book ban. And it's like, well, if you want to keep these certain books out of libraries because you said they're inappropriate, then you are banning those books from being in that space. The inconsistency that I was speaking of earlier is the fact that they continuously want to act as if they are the champions of free speech, the freedom to say what you want to. Hey, if you don't like it, if you don't appreciate something, then you don't have to watch it, you don't have to read it, until it comes to things about them. It's like, you're all for free speech. Excuse me, I'm driving. It's all for free speech until you criticize America, even though they constantly criticize America, which is why they said make America great again, because I don't understand how you can make it great again unless you think there's something wrong with it now. But for them, if you criticize America at all, then you can love it or get out. That's the two options. You can accept it or you can leave. But yeah, they're all for free speech, yet they want to ban books in a public space. I've seen some arguments of, those same type of supposedly pornographic books and whatnot, different things in public libraries. And they say, well, kids can get to that. And it's like, well, kids can get to a lot of things. Sorry, let me get my words together. It's another thing of them saying that they are about personal responsibility, but at the same time, they want you to cater to their kids and their kids alone, because they feel that it's inappropriate for their kids to learn about certain things, when they could just tell them, hey, you don't go in this area, or to even just talk to them about the things that they feel are inappropriate. But yeah, they don't really, I feel like they don't really care. It's only about their sensibilities. And somebody brought up a good point to me, and that was how they are so concerned about keeping what they deem as pornographic or too sexually explicit for kids. They want to keep that away from them, while also making sure that they aren't taught about sex ed in class. Basically, it's a head in the sand approach to almost anything. They don't want to hear about racism because that makes people racist. They don't want you to talk about sex because that makes kids want to have sex. And then when teen pregnancies or other things happen, they're confused onto what, and then we'll say something stupid like, well, they have to keep the families together. And I don't want to say not realizing. I don't know if they really care. Some of them may realize it, but it's whatever. If you don't teach kids about sexual education, if you don't teach them about different things of that, they're going to learn it from somewhere else. And more than likely, it's going to be wrong. And so now they're carrying around all this false information, acting on it as if it's, the gospel, for lack of a better term. And you have a bunch of idiots. We constantly want... It's amazing how they constantly want to hold up this image of America the Great, how exceptional America is and everything, yet at every step of the way they want to hinder our future by basically wanting to pump out emotionally detached, ignorant drones. They don't want people to actually think for themselves. They want them to parrot these things and reject any information that doesn't already align with your initial assumption, your initial thing. It's come to a conclusion and then look for other things that support that conclusion. Not, hey, I think this. Let me see if what I think is factually correct, or if it lines up with reality of what's really going on. But yeah, that's just... And you hear my co-host in the background. but that's just my random thought. What are your thoughts about book bans and other things of that nature? For any of the parents out there, have you heard of any books being taken out of your kids, the libraries in the school? What do you think about banning books in public libraries? Do you think that it's justified in some cases, or are you of the mindset of, no, they have things sectioned off so that, if the kid is in this section, it is labeled, this is for, I guess, more adult things. It's been a minute since I've been in the library. That was a really long one, Bella. It's been a minute since I've been in the library. And so I don't recall any just flat out just porn just laying around as they claim it is. She's been quiet the whole time. Alright. Let me know what you think. Like I said, you can hit me up on the socials, Bold Expressions, on both Twitter and Instagram. boldexpressions4@gmail.com. You can check out my longer form podcast, Bold Expressions, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, wherever podcasts can be found. Have a good day. Love you.